Alrighty, welcome to my channel. I am going to do a quick video about my facial care routine. So what I do the honey and turmeric facial cleanse. It's like a mask and a cleanse and actually it helps to get rid of hyperpigmentation. And I got this mask years ago from another YouTuber. I'll have to link her below, who was recommending doing a honey and turmeric mask to get rid of hyperpigmentation or discoloration. And she said if you have dry skin, use honey and turmeric. But if you have oily skin, use honey and it escapes me now, milk. Use honey and milk. So if you have dry skin, honey and turmeric. If you have oily skin, honey and milk. And I have been using it for years. I have not used it probably in about half a month now, and I can tell the difference. So I have been wearing my mask. This part of my face is now lighter. This actually used to be the darker part of my face. But I have been walking these beautiful September days. I'm getting out and walking and making sure I get into nature before we get into the winter time. And because I've been walking in the sun, I don't have on any sunscreen, my forehead is starting to get darker now. So it's like my face has flipped to where it used to be the top was lighter and I had hyperpigmentation up around the bottom. But due to the honey and turmeric mask, that kind of helped to correct that. But now, since I haven't been doing it and I have been in the sun with a mask on, my top part of my face is now, my forehead and kind of down a little bit, has started to get a little darker. So I'm going to flip it. I used to put more honey and turmeric on the bottom part and just highlight some parts that were kind of hyperpigmented on other parts of my face. Now I'm going to flip it. I'm going to do the honey and turmeric on my forehead mostly and my upper face, where that hyperpigmentation is coming along, and then it's kind of lighter down here, so I'll probably leave that section alone, except maybe get some areas that has still a little bit of hyperpigmentation. So that is what I will be doing today. So stay tuned and watch me do my honey and turmeric mask and see the results. Alrighty, so here we are in the bathroom getting ready to do my honey and turmeric mask. Generally, I would not have my unit on, my wig on here, but I may keep it on for this video. Actually, in the light in here, you don't see the hyperpigmentation as much as you do when I was in the bedroom. So, may just be due to the lights shining bright on my forehead here. That's making my face actually look even toned, except for it looks darker under here, but that's because there's no light reflecting on that. So I'm going to go ahead and do my mask here, and I will show you guys the supplies I have. Alrighty, so first up, I have a big towel. Big, huge towel. Get myself together here. So I have a big, huge towel. I have it rolled up. I'm going to put this around my shoulders you see I have this nice lime green shirt on. The benefit to the honey and turmeric mask is that it works extremely well. One of the disadvantages, it stains terribly. That turmeric, that yellow color stains terribly. So I am going to put this huge towel around myself, almost use it as a smock, like they do in the salon, where they put a smock around you to protect your clothes. So I will use this big towel for protection against the staining. Next up, I have a paper towel, like several paper towels. That's just to clean up any spillage or just to make sure that the counter does not get messed up if I have to wipe anything up. So I do have that. Next, I do have the little facial towel. And it is intentional that these towels are kind of a brownish yellow color because, again, that turmeric stains really badly. So you need to have something that you don't mind getting the color getting it either discolored or having it in a color that won't show the stain as much. So that is why I have these yellow brownish colored towels, because it hides the stain more. And it's something that I can get a stain on and not be worried about it. Next up, I do have an old placemat. Got this from my mom. She said she was okay with me using this one. She did not mind me staining it. So again, get something, the supplies that you have that you don't mind staining. I'm going to put that underneath everything on the counter, just as a protective layer against the sink being stained. Again, I used to do it in a white sink. Oh, and it stained it terribly. This current sink that I'm using in this bathroom is a brownish color, so I'm hoping it won't stain. But we shall see. But I have all the protective gear so that it will be okay. All right, next we have the stars of the show, which is honey. And that's just a standard honey that you get from the grocery store. You see, this is an off-brand. It just says Kroger's Clover Honey. So it doesn't really matter what kind you get. I try to get one that kind of matches my skin tone, if you will. You see, it kind of has that same brownish tone that I have. And so that is one of the stars. And the other star, the main star of the show, is Turmeric. And again, got this also from, I know it's the Kroger's brand. It's the Simply Truth Organic brand. So it's the Kroger's organic brand. I got these from Smith's grocery store, actually, which is that just a grocery store owned by the Kroger's corporation. So that's why a lot of their products have Kroger's on it, or they have the Kroger's different line of off-brands that Kroger makes. So this is the start of the show. Again, I try to get a tone that is more in line with my color palette. For the turmeric, you do want to get something that's a little bit lighter than yourself to take care of the pigmentation and pull it down to your actual lighter tones. So that is kind of the trick with the turmeric. Look for different brands, because there's one brand, it makes kind of like a darker yellow turmeric, and then there's one that makes like a lighter yellow turmeric that I always see. I opt for the lighter yellow turmeric, and that works really well for me. I would say if you have darker skin tones, maybe opt for the I would say my skin tone is maybe a medium brownish. So, but I would say if you have darker skin tones, maybe opt for the darker turmeric color. If you see it on the shelf in the darker color, try that out. But also, you probably could try the lighter one too. I don't know how it would work. I know the young lady whose video that I actually got it from, she had a darker skin tone, and I don't know what her technique was for choosing color. She didn't mention it. So, but that's just one trick I've learned. The darker one on me blends in too much, so it doesn't really do anything. But I found if I use the lighter, it brings the darker tones in my skin down to the lighter complected tones, and so then it blends more effectively. So that is the trick that I've kind of learned. But if anybody out there uses turmeric and honey or turmeric as a corrective action for hyperpigmentation, let me know in the comments what you think and what you've experienced with it as well. I'd be interested to know that. So those are the two stars of the show. And last but not least, I do have a bucket. It is simply a dollar store bin. I wanted to get something that matched a little bit more, but this is what they had. I would have preferred to got a black, but that's okay. It's navy blue. And I got that on purpose because that is going to be the bucket water. The bucket I use for the water that I'm going to make up for my face. Like I said, I've had experience with this before. I haven't used it in a while, but I was using it on a white sink and it stained it terribly. So lesson learned from that. I will put the water in a bucket, and as I rinse my face off, I will be dipping in the bucket water and then just rinsing it and letting it drip down into the bucket, as opposed to putting the towel under the sink and then rinsing my face and let it run into the sink, so that it won't have that discoloration to the sink. So that is that as far as the supplies go. Now I'm going to get into the actual washing of my face. Then I will, application of the mask, I should say. I will let it sit for the young lady whose video I got it from, she actually recommended doing it for 30 minutes. I've been doing it so long that I don't even do it for 30 minutes. I just put it on, And then sometimes I'll wait maybe a few minutes and then I'll take it off. But sometimes I even put it on and just take it right off. So it just depends on how long you've been doing it, because I know my skin. So right now, like I said, it is a little discolored, but it will knock it down probably within a few days or a week or so. So I'm just going to do a real quick one here. So stay tuned. Okay, so I'm filling the bucket up with water right now. And as I fill the bucket up, I'll multitask here. I'm going to put my supplies down. So put down my mat so I can use that. Down my little towel and my paper towels. And then I'm going to put on my smock as well. And I tucked my hair in the back of my shirt. So put the smock on, tuck my hair behind my ears. And that is that. And as that water fills up, now I'm going to actually apply the turmeric and honey. Turning that water off for a minute so you guys can see me. I also turned the camera so you can see a little bit better. It was kind of dark in here. So what I do is really simple. I used to mix it up in a cup or a bowl or something. I don't even do that no more. When you get used to it, I just go ahead and put a little bit in the palm of my hands. Probably about a dime size or a little bit more than that. So you see it, just palm of my hand. Take the turmeric, sprinkle it in my hand. And I'll let you guys see this too. Alrighty, so you see the turmeric just covers the honey. I like to get a good amount covering it, almost even amount of turmeric to honey. Okay, and then I'm going to mix it. The consistency, I would say, the reason why I get almost an even amount of turmeric to honey is so that it has a thicker consistency, because what you need to be, or look out for, I won't say be concerned about, but just look out for is the running. So when you get more of the turmeric, it gives it more of a drier consistency than liquid, and it's able to stay on your face a little bit better and not run and drip. Okay, so again, let me let you see that. So you see the consistency, you see how I turn my hand, it doesn't even drip because it's more of a drier consistency, but I do mix it thoroughly well. You don't want clumps or dry spots in there. Okay, then I just take my finger, literally take my finger. See, it's on my finger. And I'm just going to put it on my face. So I'm going to do this in the mirror, and you guys can just watch me do that. Pull this hair back again. And then I just rub it in to my skin. Pull my unit back here a little bit because I don't want it to get on my unit. What I would say also, this does lighten your eyebrows too. Naturally, I have darker hair, and when it gets on my eyebrows a little bit, it will lighten them a little bit. Not that they're, another color like a brown or anything, but it will lighten them a little bit. So keep that in mind too. If you want to lighten them, that may be another trick to use as well. I've never done it intentionally, but I do notice if I get it on there, it will kind of lighten them a little bit. Make them not as dramatically dark as they are. Okay, I'm just putting it around my face, everywhere. Actually, I'm not going to put it everywhere. I'm going to put it, like I said, on the top of my face. This time, usually I put it on the bottom, but starting to get a little hyperpigmentation on the top. And it's actually a little sun damage, so the honey actually does well with that. Okay, so, and then this part that's been under my mask, I don't know if you guys can see it too good, but you can kind of see where it's kind of glossy. That's where the mask is. I'm going to put it on my upper lip area. And then when I do apply it to my upper lip, I push my tongue under my upper lip to push my skin out so it can get in my pores. Okay. And then I will put it just a little bit under the bottom part of my face. Kind of like chin, jawline area and neck. So the rest of this I can just go ahead and smooth on. And voila. This is my hand. You see that yellow? You see how yellow my hand is? It does stain it. Look, compared to this one. This one has that more of a reddish peachy color. This has that yellow orange color. So you see, it does stain. Okay. So I'm going to finish filling up my bucket. And then I'm going to go ahead and rinse this off. And then I will come back. Okay, I filled my bucket. I decided to come back a little bit earlier and actually show you guys me rinsing it off as well. So push it back so you can see a little bit. So I'm just dipping the little towel in my bucket and put this back on me. And then I'm going to rinse this off here. I usually like to use warm water. I didn't realize I was actually filling it up with cold water. But I do usually like to use warm water just to open up the water. Okay, so I just take it, come over here out of the, and then I just literally, as I scrubbed it in, I scrub it out. And that's just to get it in those pores more. Okay. So I just follow the same pattern. Go the same direction, kind of rub it in little small circles and rub it out. And the same technique I use for the upper lip area. I push my lip out there, my upper lip out so that I can get in those pores and get it kind of in there and get it out as well. Alrighty, that is it. Over it maybe one more time to make sure. You'll know if you haven't gotten it out. So you will have a grittiness. You may not feel it on your face, but sometimes if like I didn't get it maybe behind my ear or something, and then I touch my ear and I'm like, oh, gritty. So it's like you didn't get it all off. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys this water here and how it has stained. Alrighty, so that is the water. I know it's reflecting that light, but you see it's in a blue bucket, but yet and still is yellow. So you kind of see a yellow tint to it. So I am not going to pour this in the sink. I'm actually going to pour it down the toilet. But this sink that I have here is actually a brownish color sink. So it probably wouldn't stain it as bad, but I just don't want to take a chance. So I'm going to pour it down the toilet, which is kind of a brown colored toilet. So this one will probably do better than the one I used to use, which was a white sink and white toilet. But I never poured it down the toilet at that time. So I'm going to see how this works, and hopefully it does not stain. Okay, when I poured it down the sink, I did see, when I poured it down the toilet, I did see it yellow. So I just flushed the toilet immediately, washed my hands, and cleaning up the bathroom now. But it did make the toilet water yellow, even though it's a brown toilet. So I just flushed it really quickly to get it out of the toilet. Excuse me, out of the toilet so it would not stain. So that is the end of my turmeric and honey mask. Face feels really good. It makes your face so soft. That's one of the benefits. I would say it definitely makes your skin so soft. I'm still a little gritty, so I may wash it one more time. Just wash it off a little bit more. But other than that, feels great. And in a few days, the hyperpigmentation, discoloration will go away. I'll take a picture today and try to take a picture every day to see how it progresses. So guys, stay tuned, and thank you for watching this video. Have a great one.